Hi, folks. This is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. One of the things that I think we overstate, and I know that I go way too much in detail about, is the tremendous number of possibilities we have in fishing tackle. Now, what I'm really trying to say is there's an old adage, and it's not just about fishing, it's about life in general, is keep it simple. Keep it simple. In fact, they call it KISS, K-I-S-S, keep it simple, stupid. But it really does make a difference. And I reflect on what my habits have become. For years, I really did keep it simple. Back when I was doing so many TV shows, basically, the only thing I'd take out fishing years ago was a bucktail jig because I knew I could catch anything on it and we could get a TV show. As time went on, it became another lure, the Hydra. And that's just about all I ever used. And just about all the huge fish in my life that I've caught were on the Hydra or a bucktail jig. But now, over the past decade, when my life has sort of taken a shift and where fishing has become even more a part of my everyday life because I'm doing these radio spots, in all those years doing TV shows, and now I'm trying to promote the area through its fishing and the growth of the economy by utilizing this, I've allowed myself to get more obsessive about the lures and things that I discover. I always want to pass it on. But let me give you a very specific example of how not keeping it simple can drive me crazy. Whenever I'm going out with my friends and we're going to fish someplace that we're all going to spend the day there, I'll take the night before and I'll think, okay, what will these fish be hitting there? And before I'm finished, I'll have spent 2 hours going through all my tackle and selecting just about everything possible that might in some way catch a fish. And every time I go the next day after being exhausted from putting too much effort and thought into this, I end up using 2 or 3 or maybe 4 lures the whole day. Because these are the ones that I normally catch fish on. These are the ones I believe in, and so it's what I use. But I really think that by keeping it simple, you can maybe become a better fisherman because maybe you don't stick long enough with one lure. You should make sure that you're trying every possible way of presenting it in the water to make sure that isn't what the fish would really like. And instead of that, you tend changing lures every second. Well, maybe I should be using this. Maybe I should be using that. And I will tell you, it can, and it does in my case, take away from the actual simple enjoyment that I can have in a day's fishing. So you don't have to go overboard with this, but essentially, no matter what day you go out and what you go for, there's probably going to be 2 or 3 types of presentation techniques that you decide to use. If you think that most of those fish are going to be, if it's in the St. Lawrence River and you need to use a drop shot, then that's probably what you'll use most of the time until it's proved that you can't catch a fish on it. And then you might go to something else that works good for you. But now I'm talking about even the pros. But for most of us going fishing, we don't need to take everything. And when I go to the rivers to wade, by the time I fill my vest with every possible lure that they might want in that hole, they might be very, and this is how my mind is going when I'm doing this. But in essence, all I usually use is 2 or 3 lures every time I go out. So, keep it simple. I think that's a good tip, and I think it's something that if we thought about it, and I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to try not to load up my buddy Russ's canoe with all my tackle bags and tackle boxes and so forth, so we can't hardly move. And then next time go out and say, Russ, I've got a surprise. I got 3 lures here. I'm going to fish all day, and I better catch more fish than I have any of the days before. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report.